Today on FSI, we are breaking down the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills from a betting perspective. We're currently 15-3 on our official moves on Twitter, so make sure you're following that account. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analytics expert, Stephen Fu.
Thanks for tuning in this week. The Seahawks are on the road as a 3-point favorite. They're minus 150 on the money line, and the Bills, they're plus 130.
Now, I'm not shocked by the spread, and the reason why is that Seattle's a huge public team, and they just got off a big win against the 49ers. And the Bills, they've struggled as of late, so I feel like the sharps might be on the Bills, but the public is definitely going to be on the Seattle Seahawks.
Russell Wilson is looking better than ever. He had 4 touchdowns last week and probably is going to be the unanimous MVP. I think the Seahawks being a 3-point favorite is correct since the Bills did get a win last week, although it was against a pretty weak opponent.
Quarterback Russell Wilson is playing phenomenal ball right now. Him and DK Metcalf are on the same page. Tyler Lockett, those guys always have great chemistry, and Mower has actually emerged as a great, solid number 3 wide receiver. I don't expect Wilson to stop playing at this elite level anytime soon.
Josh Allen had a great start to the season, but over the last month, he's been horrendous. He's averaging 1 interception in his last 4 games and has less than 160 yards in 2 of those. But lucky for him, he's up against one of the worst defenses in the league. He has no excuses to perform poorly this week.
The offensive line of the Seattle Seahawks has struggled all season long. They're one of the worst in the league, but they're playing a Bills defensive front that is not what they were last year. They are also one of the worst in the league, so I actually give this matchup a draw. I expect Wilson to be able to buy time in the pocket and be able to do what he needs to do downfield.
The Bills should have plenty of time to pass this week. They have a great pass protection, giving up only 13 sacks on the entire season. They're up against a very weak pass rush. Seattle's only getting the quarterback 3% of the time.
DK Metcalf is having himself a season. Tyler Lockett is always dangerous, and Mower as a third option has been taking advantage of some one-on-one coverage. I really like this group for the Seattle Seahawks, but they are playing a tough Bills defense that has Tavares White and Hyde at safety. I actually think this is where the Bills have an advantage over the Seahawks, is they're a little bit better in the secondary, but at the end of the day, this matchup is still a draw.
The Seahawks have the 5th worst pass defense, and they're up against great weapons like Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and John Brown. There's no way Seattle can cover all of those guys. The Bills should have a big advantage here.
Now, Seattle's run game has struggled. They do not run the ball that much anymore, and Chris Carson's been out pretty much the whole season. He's been in and out of the lineup. I think he is going to play in this game, but to be honest with you, Seattle does not run the ball well. But the Bills, they really can't stop the rush. Against the Patriots, obviously you saw how close that game was, and they had success running the ball. I actually think there might be a little bit of advantage for the Bills here, just because they got both their linebackers healthy, so they might be able to stop the run of the Seattle Seahawks.
The Bills' rushing offense is not good this year. They're only averaging 4 yards per carry, which actually ranks them below the league average. The Seattle run defense is actually pretty good. They're allowing less than 4 yards per carry, which ranks them top 5 in the league. Seattle should have the advantage in the run game.
Now, these teams are mirror images of each other. They got two strong quarterbacks. Obviously, Wilson's much better than Josh Allen. But at the end of the day, the Bills' defense is a grade higher than Seattle's defense, and they're at home. So I do like them. If you buy the point here and take it up to 3.5, you should be in a solid position all game long. And even if you're down by 10, you can get a backdoor cover and cover that 3.5.
The Bills have the better defense and a very capable offense to match Seattle. And if the home team is getting 3 points, I'm taking the Bills +3 in this matchup.
Now remember, we can't predict the injuries or the weather, so make sure you follow our Twitter for our official moves. We're 15-3 there, and we are murdering the sports book. But that's it for us. Do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe. Tell us who you're going to be taking in the comments below.
We don't care about our favorite teams here. Our focus is on making you money. Follow our social media on Twitter, Instagram, or our webpage. The links are below.